Hello everybody and welcome to my channel Get Real NBA. I'm Gabriel Alfer and this is my first video, so if you have any suggestions, please write them down below in the comments. Today, I'll be talking about the biggest takeaway from each Eastern Conference NBA team after 1 week of NBA action. Let's go. This season, the Atlanta Hawks are one of only 4 undefeated teams left in the league. In their 3 games this season, they have beaten the Chicago Bulls, the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Detroit Pistons, and with notable additions as Rondo, Bogdanovic, and Capella all helping out. And that's all with their new top 10 picks, Onyeka Okongwu, not even playing. This young team was predicted by most to make the playoffs, but not to do this well. In the smallest sample size of games so far, Trae Young is really looking like an MVP candidate. He's currently second in the league in points per game, only behind James Harden. He's also 10th in the league in assists per game with 7.3. An interesting stat that really puts in perspective how well Trae Young has been playing this season is that he has more points scored than minutes played. In 94 minutes played this season, Trae Young has scored 102 points. If Trae Young keeps up this type of play, not only does he have a legitimate shot at winning the scoring title, but the MVP as well. So far this season, the Boston Celtics are not the team we expected them to be. Many thought that they could make a run at a title, me being one of those people. And yes, they haven't been able to play their all-star point guard Kemba Walker this season because of a knee injury that's going to keep him out of NBA action until late January, early February. But they should at least be a strong force in the East, right? Well, after beating the Bucks with a miraculous shot by Jason Tatum and then a missed free throw by Giannis, they got obliterated on Christmas Day by 28 points by the Brooklyn Nets. And then, yesterday they lost a close one to the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers are a very good team, but I don't think they should be able to compete with the Boston Celtics. I just hope this isn't 2018 all over again. You should be happy if you're a Nets fan, as I think as of now it is safe to say that Kevin Durant is back. I'll be one of the first people to say that I am not a KD fan, but in his first 3 games as a Net, he has played very well and he looks very healthy. He is currently 9th in points per game this season at 26.7, and with the help of all-star teammate Kyrie Irving, he has led his team to 2 very dominant victories. Very few players come back completely healthy from an Achilles injury, and KD seems to have done so. Many thought he would be shooting contested jumpers and threes with his injury, but no, he has been driving to the basket and showing off all of his amazing athleticism. The Nets should be very happy that their risk of signing Kevin Durant seems to have paid off. Let's just hope that this can continue to happen. Despite being 1-2 to start off the season, I think the Hornets should be very happy right now. They lost a very close one to the 3-0 Cavs, and they lost one to the Thunder on a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander game winner. They also beat a team that many people think can win it all this year in the Brooklyn Nets. Terry Rozier is here, dropping 42 points against the Cleveland Cavaliers. His pickup from last offseason seems to be paying off. He is 9th in points per game this year with an average of 26.7. He is also making the 5th most threes of any player this season with 4.3 threes a game. Many were criticizing the Hornets for signing him to such a big contract, but it does seem to be paying off. I could have also talked about how poorly 3rd overall pick LaMelo Ball has played so far this year, but I may make an entire video itself talking about how bad he's played so far, unless he turned it around. Not good. The way Chicago has been playing this year has been unacceptable. I really thought that the Bulls had a legitimate shot at making the playoffs, but now I don't. Zach LaVine has been playing pretty well, but the Bulls are also 0-3. And so was the 4th overall pick this year, Patrick Williams. Other than that, everything is Honestly, I think the best part of their season will be the fact that Jim Boylen won't be coaching them anymore. Sorry, Bulls fans, but it looks like another really long year. Sexland is officially here. The Cavs, who looked like they would be at the bottom of the standings this year, have proved everybody wrong so far. Like the Hawks, they are one of the few teams who still haven't lost. In wins against the Hornets, Pistons, and 76ers, Andre Drummond, Colin Sexton, and Darius Garland have really showed up. Andre Drummond is leading the league in rebounds per game and is 2nd in steals per game. Colin Sexton is 7th in the league in points. Darius Garland is also 6th in the league for assists. For the first time since the year 2000, the Cavaliers have won their first 2 games of the season, and 3 games of the season. It is a little sad it has been that long, but at least now they have shown that they can win without LeBron. Sexland has officially arrived, and I think I can speak for all basketball fans when I say, I hope it is here to stay. The Pistons are the worst team in the league, no doubt about it, and they've especially shown that this year. They are 0-3 right now, and I really would not be surprised if they went 0-72. If you're a Pistons fan, I would close your ears right now. Your best player, who is supposed to be an all-star caliber player in Blake Griffin, plays 35 minutes and scores 15 points. Then, in a 44-minute double overtime game, he only scores 26. It's overtime, And especially in double overtime, the best player on the team, like Blake Griffin, is supposed to take over the game. Instead, he just kind of sat there as Jeremy Grant went on takeover mode. Griffin is making $30 million a year, and he has to start playing like one. But once he does, he'll probably just get hurt again. The Indiana Pacers have played very well this season, being one of the 4 teams still 3-0. And much of that credit should go to Domantas Sabonis and Miles Turner. The dynamic duo down low is a force to be reckoned with. This season, Sabonis ranks 10th in the league for rebounds and 3rd in assists among big men. He's also averaging 24 points. Turner is averaging 5 blocks a game, which I think speaks for itself and its amazingness. I truly think that Sabonis is a dark horse MVP candidate, and if he can keep it up and bring this Pacers team far in the playoffs, I think it can happen. And that Turner, I think he has a legit shot at winning the Defensive Player of the Year award. I can't wait to see what happens with this team. The Miami Heat are one of the few teams this year that have not yet played 3 games. With a current record of 1-1, last year's runner-up has high hopes and even higher expectations. But today, I want to talk about Duncan Robinson. 3 years ago, nobody knew who Duncan Robinson was. Now he's one of the best 3-point shooters in the entire world. Robinson is averaging 18.5 points a game this season, along with 5 3-point makes. So far, this sharpshooter is averaging 53% from 3 this season, which is way above average. And on Christmas this year, he had the most 3s in a half on Christmas Day with 6. I expect big things from him in the next couple years. I'm going to keep this one real short. When you go from the team with the best record in the NBA and having the back-to-back MVP and the largest contract in history with you, to losing a game by missing game-tying free throws, to then losing by the Knicks, yikes. Some say that the Knicks are the laughingstock of the NBA. Some say that they have a bright future. But I think I can speak for all NBA fans when I say they aren't great. I'm a Knicks fan, and it was not easy to say that. But this season we beat the Bucks by 20. Julius Randle, who went from being one of my least favorite players in the NBA to one of my favorites, is averaging 23 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists a game. Elfrid Payton dropped 27 points the other night against the Bucks. RJ Barrett is averaging 18 points and 7 rebounds. Alec Burks is averaging 18.5 points. It's like a perfect harmony for the first time since Linsanity in 2011, and I am loving it. I think we can all take away that the Knicks might have a legitimate chance of being a top 10 seed this year. The Orlando Magic have some very interesting things going on with them this year with injuries and them just being a very mediocre team. Markelle Fultz is here. After being traded for almost nothing 2 years ago, Fultz is looking ready to play. I had low expectations for him this year after that awful injury of his, but he seems fine. His jump shot still isn't great, but at least it's better. He's averaging 20 points per game this year, and I know this is extremely bold, but I think there's a chance he ends up like a bit worse version of Steph Curry. They both started off their careers with lots of awful injuries on a mediocre team. Hey, I'm just saying. The Philadelphia 76ers are also a very interesting team. They aren't a bad team, no, not at all. But they aren't at all a good team, and yet they aren't really in the middle, at least so far. Embiid obviously wants that ring after getting embarrassed 2 years in a row during the playoffs. He's currently averaging 28 points per game and 12 rebounds. By no means is he the best center in the league like he says, but his hard work is obviously paying off and he's most definitely the best center in the East, and nothing is going to change that this year. The Raptors just aren't what they used to be, and they've shown us that this season. With 2 losses so far against the Spurs and the Pelicans, we really saw how inconsistent they were offensively. Siakam is still doing that weird spin move of his, and Kyle Lowry is still Kyle Lowry. Their defense is okay, especially with Chris Boucher down low, but they really need to get their act together and start scoring more often. They couldn't even score 100 points against the Pelicans, and they're not a great defensive team. Although they don't yet have a win this season, I still think the Washington Wizards can pull it together. We've seen that they can score, as Bradley Beal scored 39 against the Magic the other day. We know Westbrook is great. He's averaging a triple-double this season and became the first player in 38 years to score a triple-double in the first 2 games of a season. Their top 10 pick this year, Deni Avdija, hasn't done too much offensively or defensively, but his plus-minus factor is through the roof. We still need them to mesh it all together, and it hasn't. They have proved 3 games that they can't work as one unit, and many of these players are new to that team and they're still learning chemistry. But if they can get it to all work together, this team will be one of the most fun teams to watch in the entire NBA. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on the video and consider subscribing, and hit the notification bell to always stay tuned for when I post. If you have any thoughts, please comment them down below. Stay tuned as I will be posting the Western Conference version of this video tomorrow. Please follow my Instagram, which is @GetRealNBA, so you always know what's happening with my channel. And follow my TikTok @GetRealNBA as well to see fun basketball skits and opinions every day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.